Okay, made this video on my Chemistry 11. It was a three-part video talking about shortage of black men and why black men walk away from black women. But again, that wasn't to advocate just turning our backs, okay? This is for the ones who want to let go, okay? Now, for the brothers who find themselves, you're mild-mannered, you're respectful, and you're patient, and you don't uh, fit the description of the men that they have chosen before, okay, that have been abusive or whatnot. Let's not forget that you may be one out of the last 15 that they've been with that don't fit the mold of what they're used to. Okay? Now, I'm not making excuses for some of their lack of discernment and not wisely picking the men that they choose. Some just choose to go after the bad boy because that image is always played up as the sexy one, and the nice guy, whatever, is considered lame or whatnot. But they've been scarred, okay? And you may meet them and you're with them, and they will it challenges their thought process because it's like post-traumatic stress disorder, okay? They're so used to being hit. They're used to drunken rages. They're used to, you know, 10 and 20 women's names in the phones and text messages and all these different things. They're used to it, okay? Being left, behind and all kinds of things. They're used to it, and so they have nothing but fight on their mind, and anybody else that comes into that fold and you're different, it makes them nervous because you don't fit that mold. And so what's probably going to happen in that process, it's almost by the numbers. What's going to happen is, even when there's nothing to fight about, you may end up arguing because it's just too silent, and she's like, this is too good to be true, something's going to happen. And with that anticipation, sometimes she may create an atmosphere where that may happen. Okay, something that may remind her of a certain thing. You might say something, that sounded like something that 5 other guys have said, and although the result won't be the same, the words sounded similar, and she reacts a certain way. Okay, but don't think that your good deeds and the way you are goes unnoticed. Okay. They just need time to let it go. Alright? Like I said, there is a point. Alright? I mean, you just can't sit there and be a pin cushion or a punching bag for every single thing. Eventually it has to be, worked out. But upon meeting them, okay, and you're in the first 6, 7, 8, 9 months, maybe even a year, okay, and you're like, man, why are you constantly fighting me? Why is there always an argument? Why is there always so much friction? Okay, she might not necessarily tell you everything that happened with every single guy or how bad it's been. Sometimes, you just have to wait sometimes, and she'll just end up telling you. Maybe, if you ask the question a certain way. And another thing is, people are, we're creatures of habit. And so it's not what they're used to. And so sometimes they may force the issue and try to see if you're going to be violent with them. Okay, they may even want you to hit them because what you're doing is so different that it's freaking them out more than what they're used to. They're like, you won't hit me, you won't fight, and you won't do this, and you won't do that. That is a scarred woman that you're with. But believe me when I say this, she notices, okay? But she's having a hard time letting her fight go. Alright, because she's had to hold up that shield and sword for so long. Don't walk away so soon because she wants you to stay. She just needs a chance. Okay? Now, I'm not saying sit there and get hit with coffee cups and all this stuff and you ain't do nothing wrong. Okay? Or if you must defend yourself, then, defend yourself using the least amount of force as possible, whether it's restraints or you could just walk away, then walk away, whatever. But she's going to know that, wow, he didn't react the way he did. My mind is so conditioned for a certain kind of reaction and I'm not getting it, and sometimes I may be fortunate. Let me slow myself down. And it's going to be a struggle to slow herself down because with that fight becomes a sense of empowerment. I'm standing up for myself. I'm defending myself. I'm speaking up for myself. I have a voice. I'm a powerful woman and all those things. And sometimes that very power is addictive for a woman. And maybe it's that she may be having a problem letting go because she knows that when she meets that man to be like, hey, look, I can't respect you. You can't respect me. I'm not going to put up with this. I'll leave you by yourself or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what a lot of them say, they do not want to be alone. Okay? And it's a lot harder for a black woman to date outside of her race than it is for a man. It's just something built in them that says, you know, no, I want to hold on to mine no matter how bad it is. You know, so it's a lot harder for them to walk away. It may look like that because of what the media portrays, but a lot of them, it's just a lot hard. Like I said, I'm not a racist. You know, people should, you know, be with whoever they want. But I'm talking about as far as the ease with which, you know, some people choose to step outside of their own race. It's really hard for a black woman. No matter how angry they are, they have to get to a certain point. Okay? So, I mean, they hoping you don't run away. Sometimes they need that control, and it's hard to let go of that power they once had with always fighting with those type of men that you know, that bring them to that point. All right, that try to break their spirits, right? And so what happens is when you first meet them, it's almost as if, you know, it's like, hey, there ain't room for two men in this relationship. And she knows that, wow, you're projecting this authority, respectful authority, okay, not, you know, old 1950s, you know, beat them and shut them up type authority, not like a Color Purple or something, all right, but respectful, and you know how to talk to them in a way that lets them know that you're being stern, but you're not gonna call them a bitch and all that stuff. They're not gonna get the reaction that they normally get, and so it's hard for them to let it go. But eventually they will let that go. It's not going to happen without some resistance. But believe me, inside they know. They know that you didn't hit them. They know that you didn't cheat on them. They know that you didn't call them all types of names. They know that you didn't, you know, threaten them or whatever. You know, whatever they're used to. It's going noticed. They just really need to have time to let it go. All right? And so, brothers, don't walk away so fast. If you see that she's really trying and you notice the changes in her, even though she may, you know, rile up a few times for no reason, and you just like, what the heck, man? Like, what am I doing? You know, I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. What do you, you know? That's just the last of it filtering out. And sometimes you become the pincushion for a little bit, okay? Everybody's got their baggage. It's just going to happen. If you keep living, you're going to gain some baggage. Big deal. All right. But if you're willing to stick around after that, trust me, you're going to have the most appreciative woman in your life. I mean, all that nurturing side, the things that they're designed for will start to come out in ways you have never known. Okay? Sometimes the best type of women are the ones that have been damaged. Unfortunately, black women have been damaged in this way in epidemic proportions. Now, there are some who just want to keep holding on to it because they don't want to change, okay? And they just want to keep acting the way they act and don't want to have any kind of firmness or boundaries or lines and all those things because they just want to be wild banshees. Well, leave them to their devices. Forget it, okay? And, you know, there's no need to be going through something for 5, 6, 7 years and she's still talking about I just got some stuff I got to, you know, at that point, that's just a game, okay? And I don't, you know, I'm not saying that there's, some line of obey, but it's a shelf life, okay? You got to worry about your own peace of mind. You don't want to be damaged and then be taking it out on the next woman or something. But the ones you know, you see it, okay? They find themselves like their tone changes, okay? They ready to say something, they be like, I'm sorry. They apologize a lot quicker. I didn't mean to say like that. I didn't mean to raise my voice like that. I'm sorry, you know. Those are the ones that you know. Those are the signs that, hey, they're trying to change. No, they're not going to sit down with a clipboard like a patient and psychologist and be like, well, I've worked this out and I've worked this out and I've worked this out. No, it's just a gradual thing. It's very organic and you have to be perceptive of those things. We communicate differently. Not everything is going to come out as direct as you would like it to, guys. But believe me, she wants you to stay. So do her that and give her that and stay for as long as you can. Okay? Even if it gets to the point where you have to step away for a minute and, you know, she gets through whatever and she calls you back, keep yourself open for it if you know she's worth it. All right? And, you know, that'll stop a lot of the bashing, but honestly, and this is for the ladies now, pay more attention to the type of guy that you're attracted to. That, I mean, what is it? Okay, you know, you all have discernment, you all have intuition and all these things. If you know that this dude has like 20 chicks that he's sleeping with, and they all bragging about the size of his thing and all this stuff, and that's what attracts you to him, but you know he a dog, what makes you think that he's not going to do it to you? Okay? If you keep running up behind these types, you know, they want to be thugs, and you know, you think that he loves you because he's going upside your head because he's overly possessive and jealous, that's not love. Wake up, okay? The nice guys, nice doesn't mean weak, okay? Being respectful doesn't mean lame, okay? Your minds have been twisted around in such a way, you know, and TV and all this other stuff has painted the bad as the good and the good as the bad, you know, that everything that's bad is sexy, and then when you get it, you don't want it no more, you know, or it becomes painful because, you know, it's an ego thing. You know, all the other women want him, so you don't want to let him go because you like the bragging rights of having this guy. But it's like, you know what? In the end, he wins because that's all he wants is the sex. So he's not complaining. All right? And then for the women who want to be aggressive and, you know, well, the men do it and I just do this and sleep with whoever and this and that. You honestly think that a guy is complaining because you sleep with him and then kick him out? Be like, get out? He got what he wanted. He's still winning. You know what I mean? So you're still using yourself. Alright? Just because the words come out of your mouth and all these things, believe me, if it's that kind of guy, then believe me, he's not complaining. You just made it easy for him. Oh, great, I don't have to lay here and spend time with you. You just kick me out. I can go hook up with somebody else. They just text me. So, you know, ladies, y'all need to check that for the ones who act that way. Again, I'm not saying all. Alright? And for those ones who just don't like to hear those things, and you know which type I'm talking about, the first thing come out their mouth is, well, a man did this, and this and this and that. They want to start pointing the finger again. They don't want to hear those type of words. But for those ones who are trying to change, who don't want to fight anymore, who do want to be able to step back and be a woman, okay, and you want to let that fight go, and the guys that's with them, stick around. Trust me, they want you to stay.